Welcome to another episode of Walking with Willie.
And today I would like to discuss one of my favorite subjects in the entire world, early Hungarian history.
My name is Willie Geverts. I've lived in Hungary for 2 years now and 8 months, and I'm from New York originally. I started doing these Walking with Willie videos on YouTube, specifically focused on exploration of Budapest alongside an exploration of Hungarian history.
Who was Attila the Hun? He was a 5th century warlord who was in charge of the fledgling Hunnic Empire.
Growing up in America, we obviously have a very illustrious history, but then you come to Hungary and you realize that America is like a little baby country because Hungarian history goes back, well, obviously all the way to the Romans, but even the modern Hungarian state, like the year 896, that to me is just crazy. I love these statues. The 6 chieftains that accompanied Arpad. My videos, they're obviously not specifically like historical textbook information based. It's more about the entertainment and walking around and alongside the history, showing people the places in Budapest.
And here we have King István, Stephen I, the first founding king of Hungarian Christianity.
Are you here on a visit?
Yeah.
First time in Budapest?
Second time.
Second time? Do you know who that is?
Yeah. A little bit, not very much.
It's King István, King Stephen. He's like the first ever Hungarian king. Where are you from?
From Pakistan.
Oh, cool. Nice. I'm gonna take one like this. So now you always remember King István, and one like this, yeah, the broad. And I also really like learning about these sort of secondary or tertiary figures that are not necessarily the king, but like his really cool, badass advisor that was the true brains behind the operation, or like a very devious mistress that brought down a kingdom or something. Like these ulterior stories are very interesting to me. Aldos tak életüket a magyar Hajduk. Again, I think that the Hajduks were sort of like this not mercenaries, but like an organization of independence fighters. I need to do some research on that. Bandits and brigands of the Balkans. Oh, that could be, I gotta do an episode about the Hajduks. That's how I've become really the most inspired, is when I see something and then I look it up and I'm like, oh my God, that looks amazing. And then I wanna just dig deeper. So I really like this idea of living history, because you can see, like here, we have such a beautiful statue and you just see a story behind everything, really. And then it's nice to go find out and have that initial excitement be validated. Vitez, shurazu, haha, yes. The videos that I've made so far have been about the honfoglalás, the tatárjárásról. So I really like this guy, Negyedik Béla, because he was super cool with building the stone castles, and I visited some of them, so that was really interesting. And then going further, I'm actually very interested in the story of the Ottoman legacy in Budapest, because that's something that is obviously a more shameful period in Hungarian history, or something that is usually maybe brushed to the side, but it actually has left such an important impact on the Hungarian nation. Oh yes. I love this little mosaic motif thing right here. I believe it depicts the final liberation of Budapest from the Ottomans, when in 1686, a joint Hungarian and Austrian force ended 150 years of Ottoman rule in Budapest. Look at those sad Turks. See you guys, see ya. I go online and I try to research in the same way that I would when I was an undergraduate or a master's student, which is using websites like Google Scholar. Although it's frustrating now because I don't have access to any of the academic journals, and Hungarian history in English is very hard to find quality sources of. So oftentimes I'm translating Hungarian websites to figure out.
Festi Masha, Yokai Mor, Unokaya, the niece of Yokai Mor. Yokai Mor is like the Charles Dickens of Hungarian letters. He wrote mostly towards the tail end of the 19th century.
The Hungarian story to me is a lot cooler than the American story, just because of the length and the sort of weight that it has behind it. Also the side of Hungarian history which fascinates me, which is, oh, we've lost so many wars, we've made so many tragic decisions. Even the bravery that's been displayed by the nation, like in 1848 and 1956, and going back with the Ottoman era, it's always been coupled with this idea of defeat and we did something wrong, which I think is a little bit of a misperception maybe. But regardless, I think a lot of these lessons that have been learned over the years have been all the more powerful because of this history of sometimes things not always working out. Not a lot of people know this about me, or maybe they do because I've been telling everyone, but I am actually 10% Hungarian. 10 százalék. Naj apam. Ment Magyarországról Amerikáig. So I have an old document that was processed at Ellis Island that says Roth Shimon came from Slovakia in the Kingdom of Hungary in big letters to America. And I think maybe that is another reason why I'm so romantically linked to this country. My target audience, I would say, is definitely Hungarians, first and foremost, because I find that they get very excited about the videos and they are very interested in like the initial premise of why is this American guy so interested in these random topics. And yeah, a lot of Hungarians have just been very enthused by, I think, being able to watch something that's about their country and their history that doesn't necessarily have an ulterior motive behind it.
Walking along, singing a song, walking in a magic wonderland. Doo-doo-doo-doo.